What's going on, Kid Nation? Nick Adams here, and I am thrilled to have in studio someone who has taken over one of the most iconic roles in film history. His name's Joonas Suotamo.
Perfect.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
You were tutoring me a little bit before we started, so thank you for joining us. You're taking over the role of Chewbacca, and I have to imagine, figuratively and literally, giant shoes to fill.
Absolutely. It's a great honor and wonderful to continue the work that Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca, started. And now I'm on my own and enjoying the release of Solo: A Star Wars Story.
And thank you for being here the day that it's out. I mean, this is a big deal, so thank you for coming into our studio. We really appreciate it. And you mentioned Peter Mayhew, and I've heard you talk about in other interviews, Wookiee school. You had a week, or Wookiee boot camp.
Wookiee boot camp. Yeah.
And I got to imagine, in my head, I'm really romanticizing this, as in there had to have been some sort of like graduation ceremony or like a passing of the torch. Was there anything like that, or was it just a go get it, kid?
Exactly, but I think it's the latter. Peter Mayhew, he was so graceful about it. We watched his performance in the original trilogy, and we tried to pin down things that I had to work with, and yeah, but then I just kind of received his blessing in a very good way, and just ran with it.
That is so cool. And so, okay, I got to get back to more just about you, the basics. You're from Finland.
That's right.
And are you exactly 7 foot tall, or are you just under?
Well, let's go with exactly 7 foot, because you round up.
Yeah, guys round up.
Yeah,
guys always round up.
Exactly.
Okay, and so how old were you when you realized I'm a little bit taller than all of my friends around here?
I was about 14 when I started to really notice that I was looking a lot different than my classmates, and I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to be the same as everyone else. But nowadays, I mean, it was before Chewbacca. I realized early on in my adulthood that it was a good thing. You know, you to be different is great, and then when the call came, they were looking for a 7-footer with blue eyes and authentic blue eyes, and I said, yeah, I'm up for it, and it turned out to be the role of Chewbacca.
And, you know, I can't imagine there's that many people that fit. That's a pretty small group of people. Do you know how many people you were up against?
3. No,
3? That's it?
Oh. Actually, I don't know. But yeah, it's got to be the lowest number, because you look at the percentage of people who are 7 feet or around that, and it's 0. At zeros.
And I have to imagine that this had to be top secret. Did they even tell you what the role was when you came into audition?
Not really. I mean, I found out on my own after signing this NDA, and I Googled and did some research. I found out it was Star Wars, and but they wanted me to shoot a tape of me playing a caveman. So I did that, knowing that it's probably it might be Chewbacca, but I'll still give him a caveman performance, and that's what I did. And they invited me. It was a 4 or 5 month process to get that role.
Oh, that's incredible. And I read before you landed the role, you were playing basketball in was it in Finland or just in Europe?
In Finland.
In Finland. And so you're playing basketball. You get this call. Were you also selling insurance?
Not at the time. No.
Okay.
I sold briefly. I did various jobs.
What kind of insurance did you sell?
It's best not to talk about it.
Would you like to try and give me your best insurance pitch?
No.
No? Okay, that's fine.
I've been trying to put that behind me, because it's just a thing that people hold on to, and it becomes a thing. And
totally.
Yeah. I'm here to be a Wookiee, and I want to be the best Wookiee. And Wookiees, in my mind, they don't need insurance; they insure themselves.
and so you want to be the best Wookiee possible. That comes down to your mannerisms. That comes down to how you speak. And how does the voice work? Is it you? Is it a mix of you and computers, or what happens there?
Well, actually, I do the voice. And I do it on set just to give a reference to the other actors and have a good time in the suit, because when we have set visitors, it's lovely to be able to do some sort of a Chewbacca sound.
Well, and in interviews, it's great.
And it's great. It's a great party trick. It works in public. But really, they use this 1,000-pound guy called bear number 2, who does a great job in giving that authentic Chewbacca voice.
How long does it take to master that voice, to speak Wookiee? How long does it take to really get comfortable and to do it just,
I think it took me about a couple of months,
right,
of like doing it.
Doing it in your car, walking around,
yeah, exactly,
annoying your family and friends.
No, what I had when I was shooting Force Awakens, which I did jointly with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I had a different driver every morning take me to the studios in London, and I used to try to do the voice because they all would ask. And,
hey, do the voice. Do the voice.
And I did it, and they weren't too impressed, all of them.
Oh.
Some mornings I got it, and some mornings I don't. But nowadays I can just do it, and everybody's impressed. So I guess I've improved.
I can't do it. I've been trying all day.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, nail that first, and then go with the tongue roll for the rolling R. Yeah, but separate those. You don't have to do them together. You just do Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
this must be the best.
You better look
radio.
out. I just need to grow like 8 feet, and I'm going to take over for Chewbacca.
I think that was the best radio segment ever. The last 15 seconds.
Thank you so much. I'm going to send that in. Maybe we'll win an award.
Exactly.
You talked about The Force Awakens. You were working with Peter, and that's when Harrison Ford, isn't that like right when he got injured? Weren't you like there?
Yeah.
As the door fell on his leg?
Exactly.
Was it just chaos?
It was really frightening because you've gotten to meet your childhood hero, Harrison Ford, and then a couple of weeks later he almost dies in front of you. It was such a shock to witness that, but thankfully he only he injured his ankle or leg, and nothing happened. So yeah.
And I mean, he's pretty resilient. He can survive plane crashes, a door falling on him, and he's in his 70s, 80s now.
Exactly.
And I guess he's kind of like the Rolling Stones. They'll just always be around,
He's such a force of nature, and he's such a good guy. He enjoys anything that me and you would enjoy, and he's a very passionate guy, but he also likes to have fun and has this dry sense of humor, and it was great.
And you mentioned earlier about on-set visitors. You can do your Wookiee voice for them and everything. And some of the most famous on-set visitors that you guys had over in London was Prince William and Prince Harry.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they were there, were they just kind of like geeking out about everything? Were you guys geeking out about them being there?
I think it was mutual. Yeah, they were excited to be there, and they were the ones who came to me and gave me hugs,
Now they probably have to hug you. You can't go hug them. Isn't there like a lot of protocol you have to go by?
Yeah, I think I went in for Harry, and William just it was like we broke protocol like jointly.
Isn't there something where you can't turn your back to them? Did they give you like a school like, hey, don't do this, this, and this?
No, but afterwards when I met them at the Last Jedi premiere, there was a whole protocol, of course, and it was really because they were really good about it, and it was fun to meet them face to face. And Harry asked me, "Is that you? Is that you?" And
it's me.
Yeah, it's me. It was me.
Did either of them try to do a Wookiee impression or a Wookiee voice? No,
I don't think that would be.
The Queen may not like that.
Yeah. She wouldn't like that.
And now I gotta know. Okay, so in Solo we get to see how Han and Chewbacca meet, and they definitely don't like each other at first. And I gotta wonder. Okay, let's see more of Chewbacca. Will we ever see Chewbacca fall in love? Do you think
that is an interesting thing? And you never know. I mean, I'm sure there is a.
It seems like you're trying to keep a secret right now. It seems like you're being very diplomatic with this answer. That there's something in the works that we're going to see Chewbacca fall in love.
Right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, you can't say if it will happen or not.
True.
Chewbacca is pretty busy being awesome space pirate / smuggler. So.
And this movie, you have so many stars, especially like Emilia Clarke, who is now world famous for being in Game of Thrones. Were people on set actively trying to get spoilers from her?
I know I was.
You were?
I don't know about anybody else. I was too busy. No.
Did she ever give any away? Like,
no.
Hey, I'll tell you, but don't.
No,
don't keep it a secret.
She's really professional, and she respects the fact that I might it might not be good for me as a fan of Game of Thrones to know. So it was.
That's true.
Yeah, she was protecting myself from myself.
And so also Donald Glover's in the movie. He now, as Childish Gambino, that he raps under and sings under, his music is under, has one of the biggest songs in America right now, This Is America. Was he playing music for you guys? Did he say like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this?
Well, we were shooting a night shoot in the studios. It was like 4:30 in the morning. We were all so tired. And suddenly I start hearing these, and that's his "This Is America" song. 6 months before he finally released it, and it was an amazing song. So gritty and such a, because I like heavy metal and I like kind of rougher music from time to time. So I found that there was this really oozing awesomeness coming.
Well, it's like a mix of everything.
Yeah,
that song.
exactly.
It's great. It's not just rap. It's not just hip hop. It's everything. Okay, so I got to ask about, more about Chewbacca. When you're getting into the role of Chewbacca, when you're preparing, are you thinking, okay, I need to act more like a bear, or I need to act more like a gorilla? Like, is it a combo of animals that you are thinking about?
Yeah, I think it is, and but lots of it comes from how Chewbacca was established by Peter Mayhew with his unique physicality and that, but also, I mean, I think I've taken a lot from dogs, growing up with dogs. I think Chewbacca is based on a dog, Indiana.
George Lucas's dog, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm almost trying to play it just like a creature and not diminish all human influences. Just try to be and just trying to be, that kind of an animal in there. With dogs, I think they look at different stuff than humans would, and humans stare at you intently, but a dog kind of wanders with his eyes and just kind of moves his head erratically almost. And that's what when I play Chewie, I try to mimic that behavior, because I think it's fascinating to have someone who can fly a spaceship but also be like a dog. And
totally.
Only the collar was missing.
Yeah, and you were just speaking Wookiee again, and I'd heard that you say some of your lines. Do you call it Wookiee English? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
On set?
Yeah, that's what I do because Lawrence Kasdan, John Kasdan, father and son, and the legendary Lawrence Kasdan, they wrote lines for me for this film. They wanted to have this exchange of dialogue with Han and Chewie mean something, like every time, that there would be this exact meaning for Han to react to. So I would deliver the lines in this way, like, let's go over there. Well, you always doing something.
How long does it take you to get comfortable doing that without feeling stupid? Because I'm sure at some point people are like, "What are you doing?"
I've never really cared about looking
about standing out.
Or standing out. Yeah, I've gotten so used to it being that guy. Hey, how tall are you, guy?
Yeah, and you say how tall are you? There's got to be things. People are always saying to you, how's the weather up there? I'm sure that gets so old by the time you were in 10th grade. But what is some of the pros and cons that someone who's an average height wouldn't realize about someone who's 7 foot tall?
Well, I think the pros are you're always noticed, and you have to kind of represent wherever you go. You have to represent the club tall very well. And that could be a con as well. If some days you're not feeling so great,
right?
And you still got to represent. And and also one con is it's really hard to find clothes. You can't. The shoes and clothes are only when you find the size that fits. You usually want to buy it, even though it's
buy 10 of them.
Yeah,
it'll be in your closet forever.
Exactly. But I'm so happy because there's this thing. I don't know if you've heard this internet. It's great. It's great.
I think I've heard about it. Well, you say internet. There has to be so many things about you now because this is the biggest fan base in history. There's got to be so many things that you've seen about yourself online where you're like, that's not right. That's totally not true.
Yeah.
What are some things that you've seen about yourself that are just completely wrong online?
My height is always reported as 6'9", which was my height when I was 15. I played for the national team. We went to foreign tournaments, and they measured me back then, and it's circulating the web now that I'm 6'9", which is not true. I've grown since when I was 16, 15. I've grown a couple of inches, and I'm right now I'm 6'11 and a half.
Yeah, well, and again, round up.
Yeah,
got
7 feet, because it's just 6'11 and a half is a lot more work than 7 feet.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask you. You've been in this role for Chewbacca. This is your third film, right? As Chewbacca?
Yes.
Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and now Solo. I know fans have to come up with you and just pelt you with like trivia questions about Chewie and his backstory, and you're probably like, I have no idea. I didn't read that fan fiction book or whatever. But I want to test you and see how much Chewbacca trivia you actually know, okay?
Excellent.
So let's see if we can get this right. Okay, so we talked about Chewie's voice and how it's a mix of some animals and a bear, right? When they were originally making it, do you remember the bear's name?
Chuck.
No, it's Tarek. Tarek
Okay.
from Happy Hollow Zoo in San Jose, California.
Wow.
Tarek.
Wow.
He's the main bear that you hear in the early films. Okay. So
Next
wrong. Okay, so in the 1978 television program Star Wars Holiday Special, we get to meet Chewbacca's family. What is Chewbacca's wife's name, and what's Chewbacca's son's name?
Lumpy is the son.
That's correct.
But Wampy is the
No. I'll give you half.
Mala.
Yes. It's Mala Tabuk is the wife, and
Okay.
Lumpo or Rump is the son.
Right.
But those count. You get a point.
Yes.
You get a point there.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so Wookiee, this is not the official question, but it's Shrirook. Am I pronouncing that right?
I think it's Shiriwook.
Shrirook? Okay.
Shiriwook.
So that's what Wookiees speak, and there's some other languages that Wookiees speak back on their home planet. Do you know what those languages are?
I think it's English.
No.
No. What is it?
It is I can't pronounce this stuff. Tikran, and
Right.
Zaxic.
Wow.
All right. Okay, no point there.
Okay.
Do you know what the Wookiees, they're all about trees, right? They're tree animals. They can climb, they build their homes in trees, and on their home planet, the trees grow over 400 feet tall.
Wow.
Do you know what that tree is on their planet?
You tell me. I don't know.
It's Rocherer. I don't know.
That's
I can't
awesome.
pronounce it.
Well,
I was hoping you could.
You've done so much research.
Well, I try. Okay, we're done with that. But is there like a favorite piece of Chewbacca trivia that you have in your head somewhere that you just kind of throw out to your family and friends? Like, actually, Chewbacca's 200 years old. Or is there some sort of cool Chewie fact you love?
I think the most often I have to tell that Wookiees live up to 400 years. So people, when you're wondering why Chewbacca didn't grow gray hair from going from 200 to 230, I mean, he lived a relatively unstressful life.
Yeah, right, exactly.